Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands on it. It is us. We're back. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the big time show and Father and Son podcast together once again, but we got our own name and we call it the Cowboys OG Podcast. That is live and in color as we speak. We're here tonight to talk about, forgive it, I did not do the title right, but you see us live here. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live to talk about this week's game. And I hope that you guys will come in and hit that like button. And I hope that you would share it to those of us that are associated with the Dallas Cowboys and the fan base. Even share it to the haters tonight if you want. They love to talk bad about us and love, of course, to stick their nose in the Cowboy business. So send it out to the haters as well. We're here tonight to catch back up. We weren't on last week, but we're back here today with minus our partner B-Bird tonight. But the OG podcast will crank it up again. But tonight, you might as well call it a Kappa show. Some of y'all don't know what they mean, but it'll be all right.
I got the colors on.
I don't have mine on, but I don't need them because everybody know I'm a noob. So, there's two members of the greatest fraternity known to man, Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. I got my brother Cowboy Joe with me. My noob is in the building. What's up, Joe?
Man, it's good. Glad to be back on with you. And last week it was just a really different kind of week for Cowboy fans, and I saw the show that you did with the other guys in the universe. Was just really, really proud of the way you guys represented. Of course, you being a preacher, a minister in the group, what you said was much needed. I thought what you brought to the whole thing was really good. So, but yeah, so it's been it was a tough week with what happened there with Nealon. Yeah. And so we're glad to be back on. The Cowboys, they're kind of moving forward onto this next game, and so we'll kind of do that ourselves with our show. I know B-Bird expressed that he kind of was not up to doing the show last week himself because of what happened, but yeah, we was kind of recovering, and moving forward, ready to talk about these Las Vegas Raiders.
Yes, sir.
And I think that so I think this game right here, and I've been saying this on every show we've had. I've been talking about playoff games. So the spin I'm gonna put on this one big time is what we got coming up on Monday. It's a wild card game. Okay. And then if we win the wild card game, then we got a playoff game against the Eagles. So the question for the listeners tonight is Shadi, and I made a decision last week, something I think you might find kind of interesting. The defensive coordinator for the Cowboys, I'm just not gonna say his name going forward. I'm gonna refer to him as a defensive coordinator. So you know how now you appreciate this. You're an Old Testament guy.
Yeah.
So the college I graduated from, it's a Baptist school, right? Dallas Baptist. And so, man, I took, of course, all of the business courses, marketing, business management, the whole nine. The hardest class I had when I was in school, it was the Old Testament.
Okay.
So I had to take the Old Testament and the New Testament. New Testament, it's more of a story, right? The Old Testament, it's just really scientific.
A bunch of laws and all that type of stuff.
This beget that, this beget, just you ain't paying attention, But and you might have to correct me now. At some point there, you remember when Pharaoh sent Moses out to so he made a decree that nobody should ever say Moses' name again.
Okay.
It was some kind of decree. So I'm decreeing to myself that I'm not going to say the defensive coordinator's name again the rest of the season. So Old Testament style. What do you think about that?
I will call his name, and from a different standpoint. I'm gonna call his name because, as I said on my show, during the ride the other day, I had said that, listen, because of the infusion of the talent that we put in now, I'm not giving him any excuses, no more.
No.
When you add, an all-pro like Quentin Williams, and then even though I know Overshown is coming back, and it's kind of hard to predict where he is at, physically. I still think that 85% Overshown is better than anybody, than what we have. When you add Logan Wilson to the mix, I really believe that Logan Wilson is going to help tremendously. Notice what I said, because I've seen him play. I've had my eye on him for years because I play fantasy football, and Logan Wilson was one of my. If you play in the individual defensive league, he was one of my players. And what I noticed about him, the reason why I always got him, because he always gave me at least 10 tackles a game. So I'm serious, just about 10 every single trip. So I I like him. He's very instinctive. If those of you that watch film on him, you will notice that he's very instinctive. He reads the ball. He reads plays extremely quick, and he's always around the football. I'm not saying he's an all-pro linebacker, but what I am saying is that he's going to be better than Murray. And that's what I'm saying. So when you add that in, then when you also add in, we are getting some players back, even though I've seen them. But considering what we had, I welcome back Hooker right now. I will welcome him back over what we've had. He was playing a little bit better than that. So, and everybody talking about Revelle. I'm not going to put a lot of stack into Revelle because he's a rookie and he ain't played in a long period of time. Yeah. And you just can't You just can't put that type of pressure on him, even though a lot of people will. But I just think the addition of Williams and what he's getting ready to free up is going to open up a lot of things for us. Or make it better. Let me just say that. So I am going to call Eberflus' name out. But just from the standpoint, like, man, look, you don't have no excuses now. I got an all-pro at defensive tackle. I got another Pro Bowler at defensive tackle. I got a real high-paid defensive tackle in Osa. I got Kenny Clark. I got pass rusher in Fowler. He's a Raku, has stepped up big. Look, I can't. Clowney has shown some stuff. I'm sorry. If you can't get it right now, then it's you. The talent is there. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. So to piggyback on your point, I think I got a little echo. Can you hear that?
No, you're good.
All right. So I'm really confident in the front of the defense, the defensive line, the tackles, Quentin Williams, Clark. Then we're gonna see some 5-2 with 5 defensive linemen on the field, which is what we need to stop the run. So I really like the way Clowney played in the last game. Izuruku is coming on, and Fowler. So I'm pretty good with the front of our defense. The back end is still my concern. So I was listening to DallasCowboys.com yesterday and today, and they on both shows they mentioned the fact that our corners, they're man cover corners, but we're still asking them to play zone. So that's still a concern. I want to see if he's going to change that up. And then
you think he's going to do that?
Man, look, I just don't have a lot of confidence in the defensive coordinator, so he's going to have to show me. I'm
going to be honest with you. I don't think he's going to do it. I think that I believe we're going to see a lot of 5-man fronts. And I believe that he's going to be dependent on those 5 guys. Somebody going to get home. And they're going to get home often. And I think he's going to zone it up. He might play the corners up a little finally. But I still believe it's going to be zone. I don't think it's going to be no man. I just don't think so. But I really believe he believes his pass rush for to get in now.
So I watched the Packers and Eagles on Monday night. And so I talked about this on one of our previous shows. What I'm really liking in the league is a lot of these young defensive coordinators, their defenses are really playing good. You've got, some of the guys that this is first time coaching. So the Chargers have a coordinator. His name is Mentor, a young white guy. And then we got some of the OGs like Vic Fangio. So just watching the Eagles defense the other night, just the way they play, there's a certain level of intensity, certain level of physicality. They playing with emotion. So I think what's hurting our defense, I just don't think they have an emotional leader or coach. And I thought about this. So Al Harris, I got my best friend. He goes to church with a guy that's from Chicago. He played in the NFL. I can't remember his name. He's our age, the guy. So he's really excited about what Al Harris is doing with the Bears. So he played for the Bears. So he's been going to some Bear games. And so I remember that in one of our 12-5 seasons, we were losing a game, and Al Harris was on the sideline. We had basically lost the game. So Al Harris got everybody together on the sideline, rounded everybody up, and he was telling them, like, we didn't play good this week. He was saying, for the next couple of series, I want you to go out, play hard, and we're going to fix this next week. Now, remember, Dan Quinn was up in the booth. So Al Harris was always the guy that was talking to our defensive players when they came out the field. No, you mess up, he was the first guy you see. So I think that what's happening with our defense, too, is that we just don't have that emotional coach or emotional leader on the sideline to talk to our players. And so what I was going to ask you is Logan Wilson and Quentin Williams going to bring that? Are they going to bring that to the table? What do you think?
Williams is not he's the best player, so we'll go with him. I don't think he's really a vocal guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a lead by example type guy. Logan Wilson is a green dot guy, which means really the only time you really gonna hear him is in the huddle, and there really ain't too many. I'm quite sure he's vocal there, not only by calling plays, but I don't know if he's the emotional leader. I believe, to be honest with you, Newt, I really believe that the emotional leader will be Overshown.
Mm-hmm.
He's vocal.
Yep.
He's somebody that they can all kind of feed off of him.
Yep.
And then he plays. If he's Overshown Monday night, then his play will be kind of like a spark as well.
Yeah.
So I think he's that guy. That's just me. If we're looking for that rah-rah guy, it's him. It's not Kenny Clark. It's not Williams. It's not the corners. Wilson is more of a get everybody in place type guy, lead by example. But I believe Williams play, Quentin Williams play is just gonna be what we need to get things going. So and who knows? I see a portion here. He say, will Eberflus be better in the booth where he could see the field better? Nah. He's been on the sideline, Shane, all his career with Indianapolis and Chicago, and they had good defenses. It's just not working out right now for us, and he was on the sideline then, so I ain't gonna use that. He just gotta understand, kind of like what Cowboy Joe was saying, Shane. He just gotta know his personnel. Everybody, see, the Cowboys drafted, and Cowboy Joe brought it up, and it was an excellent point. Did you hear when he said something about the man corners? Well, if you drafted man corners and then you bring in a defensive coordinator that particularly just runs zone, then you're bringing down the value of the player and what he does best. Diggs, Bland, Ravel, Carson, these guys are natural man corners.
Mm-hmm.
We've been running zone all year. So what Cowboy Joe is saying is 1,000,000% correct. Sometimes it's not the talent, it's the scheme. And that's why I was saying, that's why I asked Joe, like, you really think we're gonna do that? I still think, because that's just what he does. He just believes he really don't believe in blitzing. He don't. No. He believes that the pressure is gonna come from that front four, and you can drop 11 and your zone gonna be so good that you're gonna make small windows. The problem is we got a bunch of cornerbacks, man, that don't really know how to play zone consistently. That's what the issue is. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And it's just not natural for them to play zone, because that's just not the way they play the game. So again, just watching the Eagles the other night, I mean, they were bringing 4 guys, but they were getting pressure. I don't know if their talent is better than what we have. The Eagles, I think they play a little bit more man.
They do.
But yeah, it's so it's going to be something to watch just going forward, because we're kind of getting to the point, and we talked about this on our show the other day. I don't know if you've looked at it, and you're probably I think on your show I listened to the ride. You're thinking that they can't make the playoffs. No. So I've been looking at it. I've been looking at all of the schedules, and so Jeff Kavanaugh and some other guys, they broke it down just game by game. If you just look at it, and of course, you got to take care of your own business. Mm-hmm. I believe they're going to be in it until the last week or so, because what's happening is Carolina, Chicago, and by the way, look at Green Bay. I ain't really as confident in them as I was before.
Yeah, Jordan Love is a problem. Jordan Love he's not what everybody think he is. Let me put it that way.
He's a problem, and I'm looking at the coach too, because that game on Monday night, LaFleur, he really cost him that game. But yeah, Jordan Love, you're gonna get 8 games from him where let me say this, he's gonna beat us every time. But man, you're gonna have 8 games of him. He's gonna play good, Nuke, and you're gonna have another 8 games where you're just like, what is he doing? Mm-hmm. And he was not good Monday night. Now, in his defense, he did have a couple of passes that he put it right on the money, and they didn't catch him. Mm-hmm. But yeah, LaFleur, Jordan Love. So I'm not as confident as I was with Green Bay. They could fall back too. So I said all that to say this. I think we have a shot. You got to start by winning Monday night. Then you got the Eagles and the Chiefs coming up, of course. So the concern I have with our defensive coordinator, Noop, is, does he have the mindset to call a defense and get his defense ready to play in these playoff type atmospheres? And he's had many chances to do it, and he hasn't gotten it done.
I looked at the schedules to go back to your original question. You know, if they go 6-2, mm-hmm. that's only 9 games. I don't think 9 games gonna get you in. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if we really can go 6-2, and so that means 7. You have to go 7-1 to get to 10. And I will say this. The offense, we know who they are. We know who they are. So I don't have no question about the offense. The only question I got about them is will they play well. That's it. But I know what to expect from them. Mm-hmm. The defense, let's just be honest, everybody. If you're a Cowboy fan, you can't charge these guys that's getting ready to play Monday night for the past 8 weeks. It's a whole new defense.
Yep.
We don't know absolutely nothing about Quinn Williams on this team and playing with Kenny Clark, and also we never seen before. Quinn Williams gonna go a double team. Somebody gonna get 1-on-1. Can we finally destroy people 1-on-1? We haven't seen Ravel. We haven't seen Overshown. We haven't seen Logan Wilson. All of these guys are coming back starting. Just because we were getting our brains beat out the last 8 weeks does not mean we're about to get beat up these next few 8 weeks. It just, I haven't seen it. I'm just like Cowboy Joe. You got to show me, and then I'll be able to make my adjustment. But what I am saying is, if this defense does what we just been begging for all year, no, they don't have to be the number 1 ranked defense for the next 8 weeks. If they could just be 16 or 17, mm-hmm. and this offense do what we know what they can do, we are going to win from football games. So it remains to be seen, and I don't care who we're playing. I don't care about the Chiefs and the Eagles and the Lions and all that. If the defense can keep, look, I'm simple. Can we just make the punter punt the ball 3 or 4 times a game?
Yeah,
we ain't done that at all. Can we just get 1 or 2 3-and-outs? Yep. Can I get Kevontae Turpin to be in a real punt return situation where he can do some damage? We ain't had that. I don't remember us making the punter punt the ball twice a game. I just don't remember it in 8 weeks. So I'm saying if we could just do some of the smaller things on defense, just give me some stops. Give my offense at least 2 more possessions. And then I'll see what's going on. So what I'm saying is, until I see this defense, I know we the 32nd ranked defense in the league, but not with this crew that's finna play now. No. I guarantee you, this ain't gonna be no 32nd rank. I ain't saying it's gonna be number 1 either, but I'm saying it's not going to be the last ranked defense for these next 8 weeks. It's just no way. The talent level is just too good.
I will be absolutely stunned if we go into this game Monday night and the Raiders are able to run the ball on us. I'll be shocked. I just don't think they're going to be able to. Now, is Geno playing? Do we know?
It's still in the air, but I would think that he would be.
So
I would think so.
That's my concern, because a quarterback like him, when you playing zone, Bishop, these guys can wake up in the middle of the night and beat a zone defense. They just know how to do it.
Well, I know what I just said, but the pattern this year is that we make average quarterbacks look great.
Yeah.
So I know I just said you can't charge them, and I guess I'm kind of being hypocritical here, but the run is going to be the most important thing, because and of course we all know about a great tight end in Brock Bowers, but I really believe that if we could shut Genty down. And I don't know what everybody's term of shut down mean. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? How many yards you talking, Cowboy Joe? I mean, when you say, well, you'll be satisfied saying, okay, we stopped the run.
Oh, you got to keep him to 60 yards or so, to 70. Okay. And he hasn't had a good season. It's no reflection on him. Their offensive line is one of the worst in the league.
It's horrible.
So I'm sure that we're gonna do okay against the run. Now the tight end, I don't know who's gonna cover him.
Thank God.
You might be smart to just put Bland on him. I said something on our show the other night. I think it's kind of unfortunate, and I want to talk about this. Where Cowboy fans, we just can't have nice things. So we got people trying to pit Pickens against CD. I don't know why. We got people, saying that, we need to figure out who the number one receiver is Pickens or CD. I don't even know. I don't know why you're doing that. And so on the defensive side of the ball, what I mentioned the other night is I still think this bye is going to be big for us, because I still think a lot of our guys are banged up. So I think Turpin, you can just look at him running. You can tell he's not 100%. He's just not. Okay. Hopefully he's better this week. I think the same thing with Bland. Same thing with Tyler Smith. You're seeing Tyler Smith get a lot of penalties. You're seeing him getting beat. That's because he hasn't been healthy. So hopefully if those guys are healthy, then, and then Hooker, I'm not really sure what his status? What did Hooker actually have?
Hooker had a foot, if I'm not mistaken. I may be wrong on that, but he's back.
So if our guys are just healthy, again, we're gonna play better. It's all about the back end. Wanye is out, kind of disappointed with that. This was his time to shine. So Donovan Wilson, I'm a fan. Just don't have him playing deep. So that's what we're going to be looking at on Monday, Newt. Where do you have Donovan Wilson lined up? I don't even know who our other safety would be.
It's gonna be Hooker. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be Hooker. Wanye is on IR now.
4 games, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not gonna be him. I would think that maybe Bell would step in, maybe for that. Even he can play both ones, but if that's the case, but. I think to be honest with you though, Newt, when you start talking about Brock Bowers, I think that may be part of the coverage, because it's nowhere in the world you're gonna be able to tell me that you're gonna try to go one-on-one with Bowers.
No.
And you're not playing nickel. You're not gonna put a cornerback on him. He's too small. So you got to put a little body on him that can run. Wilson can run, but he can't cover. So this is what I'm saying. I'm saying, since Bowers can't be blocked, why don't we just don't even play with this thing and let's just go ahead and bracket him?
Yeah, double him.
Yeah, I mean they trade away the best receiver, right? Mm-hmm. I remember that, right? They trade away the best receiver, so I don't think nobody frightened you from the wide receiver position. So why don't we just go on and eliminate Bowers out the picture, just double him? I don't understand that. That's what I would do. But that's why, to answer your question, I think he's going to be involved in the passing game a lot.
Yeah, so if Geno is playing, he has enough, capabilities to make it a long night. But Geno is just like Jordan Love. Depends on what Geno shows up. He can come out there and just go up and down the field on us, or he can come out there and look pretty bad. So, look, I think the back end is the key. I just can't say it enough. I'm very confident on what we're doing on the front end. Clowney, you got your Logan Wilsons, Quentin Williams. I think Clark and Osa are going to look better.
Mm-hmm.
And what are your parting thoughts on Mozzie? Mozzie is no longer with us. He's with the Jets, and so what do you think about that whole thing, the way it went down with him?
It's a wasted pick. The bottom line is, there's no other way you can look at it. I ain't gonna say he's a bust, but I'm just saying he was he for what he was drafted for, he didn't get the job done. In fairness to him, the Cowboys at first they wanted him to bulk up, and then they made him lose all the weight. Then they had to bring it back. Then he had three different defensive coordinators.
Yep.
Some guys can't function like that. One defensive coordinator wants you to play the A gap primarily. The next coordinator wants you to play the B gap primarily. And then somebody wants you to play directly over the center, and you can't really get into the rhythm that you really need to get into. You know what I'm saying? So, I'd be fair in that way, but in 3 years, we should have seen something that'll say, no, we can't let him go. He's too young. We can't do it. So to answer that question, I don't think Cowboy fans would be thinking absolutely anything about Mozzie Smith ever again since we got Quentin Williams, and I know what he's going to bring to the table over the next couple of years. I don't think. As a matter of fact, I was looking at the Jet game Thursday night. I didn't even see Mozzie. I'm serious. I didn't even see Mozzie. I don't even know if he was active, to be honest with you. I'm just saying.
Man, so I was disappointed. I really wanted them to get Minkah Fitzpatrick. That would have just put a bow on everything. Wasn't able to pull that one off. I was also kind of disappointed they didn't move Tolbert.
Yeah. But the thing about Minkah though, Nuke though, that's what the fan base wanted. I don't know if the Cowboys really went out. We're thinking about him, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think they believe in Bell, Wanye, and then of course they've paid Hooker and Wilson. They paid them. So I don't really believe they're really in the market for a safety, to be honest with you. But go ahead.
And that's a flaw. Shout out to Coach Marv. That's been his thing, the safety position. This front office, I don't know why. And we got to talk about Jerry. For whatever reason, he just seems to not be able to put together an entire team. So 1 year is safety, then you got the linebackers, then it's running back, and they just had this philosophy of not just putting an entire team together. So the safety position, Dan Quinn came in and kind of built it back up a little bit. But no, you've been around as long as I have. Every Cowboy team that we've had that has been successful has had Pro Bowl, multiple Pro Bowl safeties. And for some reason, this front office, they just don't think it's an important position. That's another reason why I'm concerned about our defensive coordinator coming back again next year. Because I just think there are some things that fundamentally he's just not really that off into it. He just doesn't really believe playing man is good and having good safeties.
Let me tell you this. This is where the time for those of you that may want Coach Eberflus gone. If this defense come back and show any improvement, he gonna get the credit.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's what's gonna keep his job. I'm telling you. Because everybody want him gone anyway, but you keep hearing the team defend him. And maybe that's because nobody's not gonna fire nobody at this point. Just go with him the whole year. But if this defense looks good, which I'm thinking they're going to look way better than what they've shown with the addition of everybody, they're going to save his job. He'll be the coordinator next year.
Now, I'm going to say this right here, and you probably don't remember this, but when Nolan was the coach, we would probably say that was probably our worst coordinator.
He was.
His defense kind of toward the end of the season, it got better. They started turning the ball over. So even Mike Nolan kind of toward the end, he got better. So, but I'm gonna stand on business, and I'm gonna be saying it from here to the season end. I think what they need to do, they need to just reset. Let Shotty come in, and I was talking about Boss Cowboy about this, and I've shared this with you, my HR background. Man, I just think what they need to do, they need to just reset. They need to interview, if they're gonna do it the right way, interview 8 to 10 coaches, bring Shotty in, and you know what I would do too? Connor Riley and Clayton Adams, they will be a part of the interviewing. You bring 10 defensive coordinators in. You bring in some young guys that I've been talking about from all different backgrounds. You call Kansas City, ask Steve Spagnuolo, who's your number one assistant? Who's your next guy? Because the coaches is like a fraternity, like you and I have. And so they're always trying to help each other out. So I would talk to Steve Spagnuolo. I would talk to Robert Saleh. Who's your number 2 guy? I want to talk to him. I would bring in Al Harris. And then, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to interview 8 to 10 coaches. I'm just going to rank them, get it down to 2 or 3, and then just take the best one. What I like to see them do is just hire a young coach that's innovative, got new ideas. There's a coach, I can't think of his name. So believe it or not, although Mozzie and some of these other guys coming out of Michigan not played well, Michigan has been like a place where a lot of defensive coordinators are coming from. So I would get in touch with them, but that's what you do. That's the best way to do this. There's a science to hiring, and what Jerry and Steven do, they just disregard it. And that's how you end up with, the coach that we have, the Mike Nolans. That's really how you ended up with Gary, to be honest. The
thing that I would say to that is, if you remember a lot, and those are in the chat, if you remember when the early part of when Coach Schottenheimer first got hired, one of the things that he said is that, just like you stated, that he talks to a whole lot of coaches anyway. And so he said that when it came to Clayton Adams, he said he already had notes on him. So common sense to if he has notes on him, he has notes on other coaches as we speak. And other than Eberflus, Coach Schottenheimer hired his coaches. So in the back, as prepared as Schottenheimer is, I would not be surprised if he already got somebody in his mind right now.
Absolutely.
Already, just in case, and I'm quite sure he got his eyes on him, because it have to fit. See, right now, Schottenheimer, he come from his father was an aggressive coach. When he coached with Rex Ryan, those AFC championship games with the Jets, Rex was an aggressive defensive coach. And so what I'm saying is Schottenheimer comes, from aggression and not conservative. Eberflus fits the role of kind of a conservative, bend but don't break type defense. Schottenheimer's used to guys that go make stuff happen. You know what I'm saying? And I think that Schottenheimer, as a lease of right now, I think Schottenheimer has enough, built enough stock, let me just say that, to where he can at least suggest who he will want. And I agree with you, Ahmad. You say Jerry has the last word, which is the truth. No, not even arguing that, because that's the way it's built. But I think that if you want to make this program be what it's going to be, let Schottenheimer do what he needs to do. He knows defense. So, I mean, I ain't going to say he knows defense, but he knows defensive coaches. So, I agree with Cowboy Joe on that.
And we got to remember his dad was one of those type of. I say that I believe his dad made it to 3 NFC Championship games, and he had a good chance to win a couple of them. And I believe if he had just made it through, he would be right up there with Parcells. He was the same type of coach,
Yeah.
different personality. But the other thing that his dad had, big time, he had great assistant coaches too. Now Bill Cowher came off of Marty Schottenheimer's staff.
Yeah.
So Brian Schottenheimer, he knows how this looks.
Yes.
Okay, he knows how to put together a staff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he was kind of rushed in this hiring, getting a job here. So Imad, you're absolutely right. So we know who's lurking in the background. But what I would say to that is that he's been doing this for 30 years and he ain't got nothing out of it. So
Yeah.
hopefully in year we getting ready to go, because if you have it right, big time, if we miss the playoffs again, they're going to be the only team in the NFL in the last 30 to 31 years with no NFC Championship game. So you would have to believe at this point, Jerry would just say, okay, you're the head coach. Let's figure this thing out. We're going to let you do the hiring on the defensive side.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't, then he's going to get,
Remember, Eberflus is Jerry's hire.
Yeah.
He's not Schottenheimer's hire.
Mm-mm.
So he didn't. That was the one area where a coach was, I guess, essentially forced onto Schottenheimer. So that would be Jerry's fault. Maybe Schottenheimer need to say, "Look, if you want to play the game that I'm trying to play, I need this type of a defensive coordinator. I need a guy that's going to go after people, not lay back and play zone and play bend but don't break. I need somebody that's going to get aggressive and go after the quarterback, because we're going to score 30. I'm trying to keep them under 20. And the way that I do this is I get after the quarterback. I can't have a defensive coordinator that does not, but only blitzes maybe by 15% of the game. I can't have that. So I believe that that's what. And if we don't if we don't make the playoffs, it's gonna be obvious that he's gonna be gone. Not Shotton, but Eberflus will be gone, because everybody gonna point back to this area here, 3-5-1, and how horrible the defense was.
Oh, the defense put us here with where we are right now.
Offense. No, it wasn't offense at all. This was the defense. So you got to make a change. I mean, it ain't no question about that. And it still may be the change, even if the defense plays better, because what they're gonna be saying. And let me throw this in, Cowboy Joe. If we can say this now, and kudos to Jerry Jones, he just said it a different way. What we seen right now is an admittance that you messed up by trading Michael Parsons.
Mm-hmm.
Look at all this change we done had on defense. You went and got Kenneth Clark. Then you found out Clark wasn't all what you pumped him to be. Then you just went in for the gusto. Let me go get Quinn Williams.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that all of this is because you ain't gonna admit it, but you gonna admit that you missed Michael Parsons. Even though we still couldn't stop the run with Micah, it just looked better with Parsons in there. You made it. I ain't never seen us this aggressive.
Yeah.
Well, look, I mean, on Monday night, we are going to have 4 new starters on defense. What team does that? I'm talking about other than injury. I get it if you got injuries. I'm talking about guys that were starters are now going to be on the bench because you done brought better talent in. I ain't seen this in a long period of time. So it's an admittance to, it's a backwards admittance that saying, hey, we messed up by trading Michael.
So I want to ask you about this. So 2 things. So, and I'm not a stat guy. My son, he loves stats. I'm not a stat guy, but sometimes they just hit you. So they had a stat the other night that the defensive backs for the Green Bay Packers, the percentage of their defensive backs getting their hands on the ball is the highest in the league. The Green Bay Packers defensive backs. We have the lowest.
Mm-hmm.
The Cowboys have the lowest.
What's the difference?
Well,
You know what the difference is, right?
Yeah, we know what the difference is. And then one other thing I wanted to get your opinion on.
Okay.
So there's this thing going around, and I've heard content creators talking about it, and you probably heard about this too, that Shotty is spending a lot of time in the defensive coaching meetings. So my question would be for Jerry is Shotty is a first-time coach. We saw what his offense looked like. If your defensive coordinator who's been in the league 20 plus years, who's been a defensive coordinator, he's been a head coach. Why is your rookie head coach having to go and spend time in his meetings? And I don't believe this. I wanted to get your opinion. Some of our content creators believe our offense is not performing as well because Shotty is spending time with the defense. What do you think?
Well, first of all, we're not in the building, so we don't know how much time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of hard to say that. Just because he may have shown up in there and whatever and stayed 15, 20 minutes, it didn't negate the fact that the offense was not being tended to. So let's I don't know that at all, so I can't speak to it. But what it does say is that for him to step in and then go to meetings when he wasn't doing that at first, all that tell me is you're admitting again that was a problem.
Yeah.
For him to go step in, well, let me go see if I can help. Let me go see if I can add, what I need to, say and all that. If you weren't doing that from the beginning and now you're doing it now, that tells me that it's a big problem to the point where an offensive guy had to go in and try to, as a head coach, try to do it. That's what that tells me. The question now is this: did Schottenheimer go in this week?
Yeah.
When you added Williams, when you added Logan Wilson, I'm just thinking that, and when you stick a Overshawn back in there who's full of energy, from what I'm understanding, they say he's faster than he ever was. I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
He had his knee brace back on yesterday.
Yeah. So the question is, have you been in to this week's meeting or do you got it?
Yeah.
So in other words, is the talent level so much better now that you can just play the way that you need to play and see exactly what, what's going to happen here. So that's really my question. And maybe that question may come up from some reporters, after the game or whatever. So far, I'm not sure if he's been in there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but let me go back to what you was talking about with Green Bay. The reason why the cornerbacks got their hand on the ball is because there's not only Micah, but it's Cooper, the linebacker, and the other, and Rashad Gant with the pass rush they have. Yeah. Green Bay has an incredible pass rush, and the quarterback got to get the ball out so they can play press man a lot. They can play that a whole lot. They ain't laying back. Of course, the quarterback's gonna do it. In opposed to what you just said about our defense, we overall these first 8-9 weeks, we ain't had no real pressure. We had it for a few games, but other than that, we were big and say, man, good Lord, how long is Russell Wilson gonna stand back there without getting touched? How long is Caleb Williams just gonna stand there and take pictures before you finally throw the ball? Good Lord, Bryce Young ain't never looked that good at Carolina. He just standing back there just chilling out before he throw the ball. We were begging, like, who can we get any pass rush? So that's the difference. Pass rush.
Yeah.
I believe we'll see Monday night. I believe that the pass rush just got better because of who you added. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I know y'all don't watch the New York Jets. I'm just telling you. I know y'all don't watch the Jets and hadn't watched them in years, nor should you. But let me tell you something about Quentin Williams, y'all, because y'all don't get it. He is that. Okay? He is that. He demands a double team every single play. Why? Because he is a game wrecker. Do y'all hear me? if you go one-on-one with him, he is going to have an all-pro game. That's how good he is. He ain't an all-pro for nothing. This is what he is. Just because of that, we're going to get one-on-ones everywhere else. Osa, Osa finally come on in the building.
Mm-hmm.
With Kenny Clark. Look, if you go one-on-one with Kenny Clark gonna eat you alive too. I'm just telling you. Okay? I ain't even talking about the ends. He's a rocker who's already showing up. Fowler, Clowney, even Sam Williams. I'm telling y'all, we're about to see a better pass rush. Does that mean we're gonna get 5 seconds? I ain't saying that. I'm just saying things are getting ready to happen a little bit, and we'll see what's gonna happen.
So one other thing I was going to mention about the Green Bay game, and just so this weekend, when you're watching the games, I want you to just look at the teams and look at the defensive coordinators. What you're going to see a trend of younger guys. It's black coaches, white coaches, whatever the case may be. Green Bay has a young defensive coordinator. We talking about no-name people big time, but what they all have in common, you got young guys, they doing innovative things. That's the trend. So let's wrap it up and close it down. We got to talk about Trayvon Diggs. So I want to get your thoughts on this. He's back in the facility from what I understand. With this situation that happened with Marshawn Kneeland, I think it will be smart for them because he's on the team. Another thing I thought might happen during the trading deadline, they might do something with Diggs, but so I think they will be smart to get him back in the building. I believe he is already. I think we need him to play too. So that might be another thing that might help us down the stretch if he comes back and plays. Now, again, I want to say again, we've been talking about this. I've been talking to you about this for a long time. You've had a knee surgery. I've had it. These knee surgeries, this ain't nothing to play around with, the kind that he's had, but he's had some time off. So do you think he's going to be able to come in and do something? And then from a mental standpoint, I think it would be smart for them to bring him in because we don't know what's going on with him mentally. It ain't going to help him just being away from the team, just being out there.
Before I answer your question, I got a super chat here from Bleeding Blue. He say, why not us? And I answer him, you're optimistic. I can tell Bleeding Blue, you really believe we're going to possibly almost run the table. I ain't going to say run the complete table, but I think you think we're going to keep in mind, we got to go 6-2 just to get to 9 wins. So that means we need at least 7 to get to 10. And I think 10 wins will get you to the playoffs. That means we got to go, 7-1?
I think we got a shot.
Okay. I mean, it's all going to be, I have to see how well this defense playing first. And then I can say what we gonna do. Now,
when we traded before, not to cut you off, and when we got Amari Cooper, we were 3-5, and we made it.
Yeah,
but go ahead.
To answer your question, Cowboy Joe, when Diggs got past the trade deadline, that should have been everybody's clue that unless something really is going on with his knee, he will be back at some point. But we don't know because when it's come to Diggs, everything has really been, they've done a great job of covering this thing up. I mean, from the concussion all the way up until now, they say that his knee is messed up. So
they haven't thrown him under the bus.
They haven't thrown him under the bus. It's been quiet, and he has not been put on IR. So I would assume that at some point he's going to come back. So your question should really be, ladies and gentlemen, not your question, Cowboy. The question is, if you bring back Diggs and he's able to play, of course, then is he better than Elam? That's your question. Yeah. In other words, if you add him to the team, does it make it an upgrade? Is he better than Carson? Okay. Is Diggs better than Ravel? See, I ain't giving Ravel no credit until I see what he
So
is.
Brian Broaddus reported today. His
understanding
understanding is that Ravel is going to play special teams, and that's about it.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
mean, like, cause now the question is Ravel better than Carson? No.
No.
Okay, is Ravel better than Elam? No.
Mm-mm.
You see what I'm saying? So you got to, we got to kind of, and if you go back to Diggs to answer the Cowboys OG question, is Diggs better still than all the guys that's under him, supposedly? My answer is still yes. And so what I'm saying is, if you add Diggs to this defense, it is considered an upgrade. Now, watch this. We all know that Diggs and Bland are better man corners than they are zone. We also
Carson
know
is too.
Exactly. And we also know that if you got some pass rush, well, then that's when Diggs and Bland become incredibly dangerous. Because they putting their hand on the ball. And we all know that if they get their hands anywhere near the ball, they gonna take it. Them two guys that pick the ball off. So it's important again that with this new pass rush, with the addition of Williams, let's see how much chaos are they gonna bring, and then we'll be able to say, okay. And I don't want to hear nothing about when we finish up with the Raiders. Well, it was just the Raiders. Do it against the Eagles. We're gonna do it against the Eagles too. I'm just saying, though, if a pass rush is a pass rush, we're gonna do it against the Eagles too, and whoever else it is, the Chiefs, and the Lions, everybody else. We just got to see what it looked like first. This will be their first time playing together.
Yeah.
I mean, come on now. We got to give a little grace, but I believe the talent level is so good. Well, I'm not saying all world. I'm saying it's good enough that this team will not be the 32nd ranked defense in the league from this point on. I'm talking about they finna make a move. That's all I'm saying. Now, a move is 32-20 a big move? Yes.
Yeah.
That's a big move. And does that mean that your offense gets the ball more? Yes. Well, we all know what kind of offense we got. You give them your offense at least 2 or 3 more possessions, guess what? That's damage.
With 2 or 3 more possessions, you probably win the Carolina and Arizona game.
There's no question. No matter of fact, you won the Green Bay game.
Yeah.
You every game that we lost, you give this defense, you give our offense 2 or 3 or more of those possessions, we win the football game. No question about it. So, like I said, I want to see Monday night. My eyes is not on the offense at all. I ain't worried about it. I don't care what y'all say. I know we look bad. We ain't gonna say we look bad. We just didn't score. We scored against Denver. We just didn't score against Arizona. I ain't worried about that. Our offense is gonna do what it's supposed to do. I'm looking at the defense. Yeah. I want to see how much chaos this team is gonna cause, if any. I want to see it. That's all I want to see. And then I'll be able to tell you what's getting ready to go. Wes Phillips says Diggs quit on this team when he got that concussion at home. Yeah, I know you checking because of what I said on my show. I ain't gonna do Diggs tonight. So I hear you.
Yeah, we still don't really know. He was at a concert, so in which caused an uproar. I don't know why. Yeah. But yeah, he look. I want to see Diggs come back, and I think the thing with Diggs is, if he doesn't have to play a lot, I think he'll be okay. But the question is going to be, what kind of coverages are they playing? Because these guys want to get out there and be aggressive. They want to play man, and they can do it if they're healthy. Now, I don't believe Bland has been healthy in the last couple of weeks. So I just say that if they're going to be healthier, and you play some more man, and you got to dial up the pressure. You got to dial up the blitzes. Let's get Donovan Wilson. Donovan Wilson had 5 sacks last year. Yeah. So let's see that the rest of the way. And I believe if we can get this defense back on track, I think we're going to be a team that's going to be getting better week by week. But so I'm calling it a wild card game on Monday night, big time. And then the following week we got the playoff game against the Eagles. And so, but what are we gonna do on the defensive side of the ball? And I think go back to what I said earlier about the sideline presence.
Yeah.
I believe White Cotton could be that guy, but he's not trying to step on Eberflus' shoes. So, but they need a coach over there on the sideline to get something going with these players, because that Al Harris thing, that's a big thing. Not having him on the sideline, I think it's affecting the team.
Yeah. Well, it is I'm really believing that in this case, Cowboy Joe, and I've said it too many times. I just believe that when you infuse all pro and a very, very, very solid linebacker like Logan, and then you get a wild card like Overshawn, who you know, if he is anything and can stay healthy, and if he's anything like he was, you just added another Pro Bowl type player, and you can't add that and then don't think that's not going to make a difference. That's so. In other words, the talent level, I believe, is going to change things on this. Let me answer this question. He said, "Who's taking Nealon's spot on the defense?" I believe you're going to see a little more James Houston. I believe you're going to see a little more of maybe Sam. Baby Sam. Guys that you've seen before. We all know James Houston is an impact player. So
Clowney is playing better.
Clown is playing. I mean, that it's going to be some of the same guy. They just get more snaps.
Yeah.
And then there's another guy that may not be activated. I guess we'll see. Perrion Winfrey is back.
Yep.
Who can play inside and out. Keep that in mind. I don't know if he's going to be active on this game, but we'll you know, those are just some of the guys that's going to come to mind. So we're going to do that.
Defensive line, I'm really confident in what they're going to do. The tackles, the edges. I actually feel better about the linebackers too, and I think you know, Murray. What's going to happen with Murray is he understands that he's on the bubble right now. So whatever he does is he's gonna play better.
Yeah.
And then Overshawn, and I want to throw this note out. Doing the 23 draft is looking to be a disaster with Schoonmaker and Mozzie. But what I read was that the Cowboys were actually thinking about taking Overshawn in the second round, and they decided to take Schoonmaker. So I said I'll let to say this: Overshawn is the only thing we got that can save that draft. If he can just stay healthy. I watched him at Texas. I mean, he's an inspirational player. So he has the same type of background that Michael Irvin has. He comes from a family where, you know, he's the guy. He's from East Texas, and players like Michael Irvin, like Overshawn, when you know that you're the guy for the family that's going to make everything happen for the family, and you got to be out there and play. So hopefully, man, we're going to just keep him prayed up. He's a real good guy, and we just want to see him come out and play, because I think that I told my son this last year. I believe he was on his way to being All-Pro before he got hurt.
He was definitely a Pro Bowl. That's true.
Because he was just playing tremendous. I still want to see Leofow get some playing time. It's puzzling what's happening with him, but yeah. So I'm hoping that we get to see Overshawn. I don't want him to overdo it. Just kind of be on a pitch count. And,
I think he will be.
Yeah, and just get out there and do his thing and stay healthy. And I feel good about him going forward.
Yes, sir. All right, everybody, listen. Put your score in. Monday night, Cowboys visit Las Vegas, Sin City. Give me your score. Write it down. Cowboy Joe, what you got?
I'm going to go Cowboys 27-13. And I just think our offense is going to bounce back. Now, we are playing on grass. You know, it just that we don't play on grass, which is the opposite of our 90s team. We were the best team on grass in the 90s. But this team is better on turf. So they playing on grass. I think the offense is gonna bounce back. I don't think they're gonna be able to run on us. I just don't see it.
Okay.
And so we got to just look at what they're doing on the back end there. And so appreciate you, West Philly Black joining and Emod. So these some of your usual people that come in.
Yeah, these are some of the big time show people here.
So we
Appreciate
got.
all you guys
Do we
believing.
have an APB out on East Side Herald? We haven't figured out what's happening with
We
him
ain't
yet.
figured. I don't. Look, he ain't been on no show, so I'm wondering.
Man,
I'm wondering about him. I
you
see
know,
everybody kind of actually Emod, Shag. Emod and Shag have my exact score. I think Cowboys are gonna rip these guys apart. I think it's gonna be 31-17.
I think
Really
this
do.
is your first time going that way with the games, predicting them. You haven't been.
I haven't been
You've been
because
fairly conservative.
well, I've been conservative because I saw our defense and it's kind of hard to predict. I got confidence in the defense. I just believe that when you add talent, the talent gonna show up. And I just believe that you can't add this type of talent and think that nothing is gonna be the same. I just don't believe that. I believe you add Quentin Williams to this team, it changes everything. You know what I'm saying? He's that type of a dude for real.
Yep, he is.
Eddie McCoy says 21-17 Cowboys. Okay, I get it. Everybody pretty much. Robert King says 28-13. So everybody's kind of saying at least a 2 touchdown win, except Eddie McCoy. So that's what I'm going with. I have confidence in the defense for this week. And let us see how this will be their first time playing together. We got to give them some room. But when you got talent, sometimes they make up for the continuity of players like that. So and then of course they'll be better even when they play the Eagles. So let's see what they look like starting off defensively. I'm not worried about the offense. I believe Dak and those guys are going to be ready to go. I think Javonte Williams is going to have a big game. I don't think now what we didn't say is this, and let's close with this. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a problem. His name is Max Crosby. Okay. And one of the things that I don't like about the Cowboys is that they don't believe that fat meat is greasy. And what I mean by that is that you will allow guys to wreck the game instead of respecting them and go ahead and do what you need to do to eliminate them from the game. Max Crosby needs to be double teamed. Please do not let Terrence Steele or Tyler Guyton go one-on-one with Max Crosby for no time in this game. If you running the ball, I'll let you go one-on-one. Maybe. But if we're going to pass the ball, do not let Max Crosby even start to breathe. Get a tight end over there. If you're going to chip him with a running back, do what you got to do. This dude is the truth. If I'm saying Quentin Williams is the truth, ladies and gentlemen, we know Max Crosby. He's a big fish in a small pond, just like Quentin Williams was with the Jets. You got to touch him. That's all I'm saying. If we don't respect them, the Raiders gonna play their best game of the season. If we don't respect them, I'm talking about double team.
So we got Nate Thomas standing by to jump in if needed, and then let's put Brevin Span Ford over there on that side wherever he is. That's going to be the answer for that. And then one thing I forgot to say when I was talking about the player that was banged up, I could also just tell CD has not been 100%. So if CD, Turpin, Tyler Smith, Bland, if they're kind of back to their old self, I think we're gonna be in good shape. I just think the Cowboy fans have been kind of hard on them, not considering that these guys they were clearly not 100%, including CD. So looking forward to him being healthy. Yeah.
Let's pray that the bye week was the answer.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. Let's pray that the bye week was the answer for them.
Yes, sir.
And whatever they are, this is about as good as they're gonna get on the bye week as far as health goes. So we'll see what's going on with that. I'm done, Cowboy Joe, I think.
Yes,
Let
sir.
everybody know where they can find you, man.
So you can find me on Twitter at Cowboy Joe 64, and our show is Father and Son Cowboys and Sports Talk. I do a show with my son. He really started the channel and asked me to do it with him. So, what we try to do as fathers is support, the kids. And of course, I've been a big admirer of Big Time Show. We see what he's doing with his son. And then you got B Bird on with us on Friday night. He's another super dad. So you got the super dads are the OGs. That's what we're doing. We trying to show them. We trying to show them how this thing is done. Big time. You gotta be present. You gotta support the kids, and we doing it right. So I have a lot of respect for what you do, the way you carry yourself, and of course with Fraternity Brothers. Shout out to Kappa Alpha Psi Dallas Alumni Chapter where I'm from. Been doing a lot of work with our chapter. There's something going on every day. I've been getting texts all evening from things that are just happening tomorrow.
Yeah.
But yeah, we so shout out to the Noops.
Yes, sir.
And shout out to Memphis. I spent a lot of time in Memphis with my company with FedEx that I work for.
Yes, sir.
Just all over Memphis, and I don't care what nobody say, and I ain't trying to offend nobody, but Kansas City barbecue is not better than Memphis barbecue. I'm just keeping it real, okay?
Never have been.
No, it's not. So shout out to Memphis and all of the people that are still representing up there for FedEx. I worked for that company for 33 years, and spent a lot of time in Memphis. So Big Time, and now we got a whole lot in common. And so we're just trying to build our channel organically and do it the right way. A lot of people been watching our show on Friday night. We get a lot of comments from people talking about us and talking about B-Bird. So we're gonna just kind of keep this going, and I appreciate you doing this, and I always enjoy the time talking on the Friday night Cowboy OG podcast.
Yes, sir. And I appreciate I always hang with you, Noop, and B-Bird, who probably be with us next week. And we'll continue to go it on whatever way we go with it, whether it's two of us or all three of us combined. You can be rest assured it's gonna be on and popping on the Cowboys OG podcast. Listen, you guys know me, Big Time Show on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all that. Listen, all of you that are on with me now, stay with me. I'm getting ready to go to another show with the DC Universe. They're on right now. I'm about to jump on there and just jump on with them real quick. So
I'm gonna jump on and listen.
So all you gotta do is just in a few seconds or so, come on right back. It'll be on YouTube. For those that are on Twitter, if you follow me on YouTube and Facebook, pick which one you want to go with. I'll be there with Boss and Henny and all those folks over there in just a few seconds. And so come on, hang with me tonight. I'm doing a little double duty. I ain't gonna be there that long as I hung with my brother here, because I'm tired now. So I'm gonna say what I got to say and be through. All right. I appreciate y'all.
Have a great show.
Y'all have a great night. We'll see y'all. This has been the Cowboys OG Podcast. We'll see you next Friday night.
Yes, sir. All right.